Good to have Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos Chanukah, Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, and Parshas Miketz. So 3 Sifrei Torah. It's a big deal. We spoke many times. As I understand, it's not going to happen for a while. So an idea that we learned about in this week's Chassidus Shir, in the Sicha Shir class, is that one of the ideas of the menorah, we know it's a very interesting concept. Chanukah, we celebrate the candle, the miracle. We call it miracle of the lights, right? The menorah lit 8 days. Everyone knows it only had enough oil for one night. Lit 8 nights. The menorah, we know, as we're going to learn in the parshas that deal with the Mishkan, that the menorah represents what's called inner vessels of the Beis HaMikdash or the Mishkan, the inner vessels of the tabernacle. Like what in the person, that's like the pnimis, things that you internalize. The menorah is the light, you have the mizbeach is the heart, you have the different parts of a person's makeup, the heart, the emotions, the intellect, the mind, the Torah. It's all represented in the or and the ark, the mizbeach. And then you have the encompassing space, whether it's the skins that cover the Mishkan or the walls and the building of the Beis HaMikdash itself. And in Chanukah, we actually celebrate both the menorah, this miracle of the menorah, and also the dedication of the Beis HaMikdash, because we know the Beis HaMikdash itself was almost destroyed. It was really defiled and made impure by the Greeks, and therefore we read the reading of the Torah is the reading of the dedication of the Chanukah Mishkan, the dedication of the tabernacle, because basically they had to redo parts of the Beis HaMikdash. It was almost as if they rededicated the Beis HaMikdash. So we have the idea of the Beis HaMikdash, the outside space, the building, the bayis, and we have the kalim, the inside vessels. And the Rebbe speaks about an amazing idea. What's the message of Chanukah? What's the idea of the lights of Chanukah? What's so powerful about Chanukah? We know that Chanukah comes from the Avodah Mesiras Nefesh. The Maccabees, Matisyahu and his children, were fighting against the Greeks. It wasn't just the Greeks, it was the mentality of the time. A lot of the Misyavnim, there were even Jews that were involved in the culture of Greek to bring it to Eretz Yisrael. And the idea was Lashkichem Tarasecha, was a spiritual battle against Yiddishkeit, against Torah mitzvahs. And the Maccabees and Matisyahu and his children, they needed the Chashmonaim, they needed to have Mesiras Nefesh, self-sacrifice for Torah mitzvahs. And that's really what the idea of Chanukah is, because we know Ner Mitzvah V'Torah all the Maimorim that talk about, the discourses that talk about Chanukah is about the light, the candle and the light, the vessel, which is the mitzvahs, and the Torah, which is the or. And it's all done through the menorah and through Aron HaKohen, through the love. So this is all the avodah, but it's done through Mesiras Nefesh, self-sacrifice. How do we bring the light? What is the energy that we're tapping into? Is the beyond space. Mesiras Nefesh demands for us to get out of our limitations, out of restrictions, out of what we see in everything, in our whole avodah, and to infuse Mesiras Nefesh in our day-to-day lives throughout the year. And that we draw from Chanukah. And what the Rebbe says is an amazing idea. 2 things in the menorah itself, and then also in the connection between the menorah and the dedication of the Beis HaMikdash. The menorah is an internal vessel, and an internal vessel by definition is limited, how much it can hold. We need how much light, how much candle, how much oil. But we know also the menorah is divided into 7 parts of the menorah. The 7 in the Beis HaMikdash had seven candles on the menorah, but it had to be made out of a single miksha zahav, which shows that it's really one piece of gold, and from that one piece of gold, from that unity of the Jewish people, from that oneness, we're able to make the different characters that we have. We have the sides of the chesed, the side of gevura. There's the different sides of the menorah. So the menorah itself has the 2 ideas. It has the 7 candles, plus it comes from a single piece of gold, which also represents the idea of taking something that's the single idea, the essence, and bringing it into the particulars of our life. And that's also, where does the menorah itself draw the energy? To be able to be a vessel of all the vessels of the Beis HaMikdash that comes and brings this light and permeates this light into our day-to-day lives and into our avodah, the avodah Mesiras Nefesh, the beyond the limitations, beyond the restrictions of the world, into the limitations, means we draw from an energy, of an outside energy, and bring it inside, not in a way that it gets limited, but the limitless goes into limitations. Is the idea that there's the dedication of the dedication of the Beis HaMikdash. Because the dedication to the Beis HaMikdash represents the bayis, and a bayis is an encompassing, not even a close encompassing like clothing. It's a kind of encompassing that anyone could be in there. I mean, all types of people could be in a single house. You don't have to fit physically or in your character and be able to fit in a house. It can house good people, bad people, light people, nice people, tall people, short people. It's a house. So that represents like the miksha, the single piece of gold. and only from there, from that energy, from that essence, where everyone is united, the bias, we bring it into the menorah, into the building of the menorah out of a single piece of gold, and then it goes into being the particular, and from there the light goes out into the whole world and throughout the year, to be able to bring light of the power of the bias into the particulars of our life, which is a very powerful message of Chanukah, that we take from the highest point of limitless and bring it into the limitations, even to the division of the menorah itself. And I want to say that this reminds us of the Mesiras Nefesh that happened this week, literally, of the 14 Jewish people that went to the menorah lighting, and the Mesiras Nefesh, that their self-sacrifice, they were literally gunned down physically by the murderers in Sydney. And I heard that, and we know, my wife and I know the family of the Shliach, Rabbi Schlenger, and the other Shliach, Rabbi Levitan, that Rabbi Schlenger went and he took that message of the light, of the unity, of the hope, and he pleaded with the murderers to stop shooting. And instead of them listening, and so he maybe had faith that maybe they were also affected by the light of Chanukah, but not yet. That's going to come with the coming of Mashiach. Instead, they killed him in cold blood, and may his Hashem Yikum Damam, may his life, and may the soul of all those who were killed, may Hashem take Nekamim Begoyim for those what they did, for that what was done, and with that should come the coming Mashiach Tzidkenu, that the true light then, when all the nations are going to realize. Hashem Echad, Shema Echad, Shabbos, Happy Chanukah.